Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, I love when I have the scoop on new products first, and I want to show you a product today that's going to rock your world. So everybody that I know that is vegan or plant-based wants a non-dairy milk that's not just healthy, but easy to make. Because, we can make our own, but let's face it, who has time for that? Well, JOI has now come out with an instant oat milk powder. So I've had them on the show before. They have wonderful products. And by the way, if you look right below the show notes, you'll have a 15% discount coupon if you'd like to try it. They have an almond milk concentrate, a cashew milk concentrate, which it's just so easy to use these, and they're just wonderful. And you can also use them just straight up, like adding them to soups and recipes and things like that. So they came out with an oat milk because a lot of people wanted something a little bit lower in fat. And plus, oat milk tastes delicious. And it was good. But the thing is you had to blend it. But now we don't have to blend it. And after we talk to them for a few minutes, I'm going to do an on-air demonstration and show you how much the product has improved. But first, please welcome from JOI, Hector and Tony. Nice to see you guys again. It's been quite a while.
Great to see you. Great to be back.
Thanks for having us, AJ.
Of course, you guys are really coming up with some great ideas here. So tell us a little bit about what made you decide to improve the product.
Sure. So, and I'd love to highlight a couple of things about what we originally launched, but I guess we'll take a step back. When we launched our product, we started off with almond, then we launched cashew, and the world went on fire for oat. So we needed to come up with a unique offer for oat. And given that we offer concentrates that are more sustainable than what's offered in Tetra Paks, being that, we're shipping 100% of the featured ingredient, we're shipping 100% almond, we're shipping 100% cashew, 100% oat. There's no water being flown around the country, and there's no additives in any of these products. We felt we could offer something of unique value. So we came out with a powderized oat milk concentrate, which is what you originally displayed to the audience. That product was great. It tastes amazing. It's made of 100% organic oats. It has no added oils in it whatsoever. It's glyphosate-free oats, which are incredible. Everything's sourced from North America, from either the United States or Canada. So we felt incredibly strong about this new product, and people were raving about it. But as you said, consumers had to blend it. And we're all about offering more convenience, more accessibility to our products for our customers. And that really comes down to how can we get really innovative behind the scenes to offer these new enhancements for our product lines. So we got to work. We work with food scientists and manufacturers all over the country to really dial in on unique processes to make this come to life. And we just launched this December an instantized version of our organic oat, still glyphosate-free oats, 100% organic, no oil added. And now it dissolves in water with just whisking the spoon. You don't need a blender anymore. It dissolves beautifully in cold water, hot water. So you can use it for all kinds of applications, smoothie, coffee, soups, you name it. It's a perfect travel companion, and a great kind of what we call a Swiss Army knife for your pantry. So we're really excited about it.
I love it, but it just shows you how lazy as a society we've become, that 30 seconds of blending is just too much.
You got it.
Got to meet people where they are.
No, but I'm kidding though. It's not so much the time, but who wants to, get a blender dirty? And I have not tried it yet because I want to do it on air to see if it does everything you say it does,
Absolutely. And I think what's really interesting, and people love cooking. People love that DIY experience. I think there's something centering about it, something calming about it to be able to prepare your own meals. But it was limiting not being able to travel with our products, not be able to take it on the road with you, not be able to have it where you were. So we wanted to meet those expectations, and we're constantly thinking about the consumer experience. So to be able to offer an instant product, it's extremely travel friendly now. You can put it in your backpack, you can take it on a plane, you can throw it in your car for a road trip. So there's lots of different options there, which makes it exciting.
And I love that you're cutting so much down on packaging because, the plant milks that come in boxes, some of the companies, they're really clean. They're just the water plus the item, but you're always buying them over. So you're always having packaging. And then some of the boxed plant milks, they have not such great ingredients. And unfortunately, those are the ones that people seem to love the taste of the most, that are giving them GI distress because they got all kinds of carrageenan and stuff in their oil sometimes. enzymes, sugar and salt. What I'm wondering, I personally don't drink coffee, but I do drink tea. And I'm wondering, like, could this be almost like Coffee Mate?
That's a great analogy. I think we're Coffee Mate, but way better, way more natural, a lot less funky ingredients. You read the label and you'll be shocked as to what you're reading. And I think a lot of consumers are. They're getting really smart about what they're consuming on a day-to-day basis. And some of these products that exist in the market, unfortunately, have dozens of different ingredients, and we find that to be unnecessary. So we offer the convenience of Coffee Mate, but a better flavor and better ingredients.
I can't wait to try it.
We fully intend to disrupt the creamer competitive space. So as you know, right now, whenever you go to, whether it's a hotel, a gas station, what have you, it's always, Coffee Mate or Carnation. And then you look at the ingredients and quite frankly, in some of them, they don't even have cow's milk. It's just like scientific words that they throw on there. And you have like, what is this?
Oil, and it's like corn syrup and oil. It's like terrible.
Yeah. And then words you can't even pronounce. So, we think it's a great opportunity for us as a company to go into that space and offer everyone a really clean, healthy choice.
Well, I can't wait, because I do drink tea, and I usually just put a splash of plant milk, and I'm going, actually, I could go get my tea. Actually, I've asked my husband to get it for me, hot tea that I've made. I know how to make plant milk. I mean, I'm a chef, but even if I'm not, I have the Nutri-Milk machine, and I've made oat milk, and, I've made every kind of milk, but I also like convenience, and what I love about it is because I don't drink a lot of plant milk. I use it like, let's say if I'm making a recipe like my cauliflower bisque, but since I'm not a cereal person, I don't go through it a lot. And I find that when I make it fresh, it goes bad because I'm just not drinking it. But with this, you can kind of just make it as you need it.
Yep.
That's 100% right. And we find that consumers have that same habit, that a lot of folks are in the similar position you are. They're buying a carton of milk, or they're making it from scratch, and it's going bad on them. They're not consuming the entirety of what they purchased and what they intended to use. So, being able to offer pantry shelf-stable product is really eye-opening in terms of the experience that you can have with plant milks, and really unlocking a lot of new potential for people to get exploratory in how they produce new products and recipes at home.
I hope that I don't go to Starbucks or Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, but I hope they'll start carrying your product.
We hope so too, and we think we're on the right path. We think we're offering something totally unique to the market that everyone can get excited about, including Starbucks.
Well, I think that if enough people put pressure on them, because I don't go to these stores, but I know there was a big to-do because they only had one kind of plant milk and they were charging more for it than regular, and it had sugar in it. So this will be a great alternative. Nora wants to know if your oat milk packaging is either biodegradable or recyclable.
It's a great question. It's actually PCR, so that's post-consumer recycled. We're taking materials that consumers have discarded and breaking that down. It's being smelted, grinded, and then transformed into this packaging. So we're absolutely on a mission to be as sustainable as possible, and bringing to light materials that make that really, really engaging for consumers. This is a durable packaging. It's going to last a long time. It's going to preserve the product. It's going to limit any oxidation or exposure to bacteria. But at the end of the day, we have a product that we feel really good about because we're taking things that have been discarded and then bringing it to new life.
Yeah, I would imagine, I haven't read it, but the shelf life on a product like this would be really long.
Yeah, right now we throw on 9 months because we're constantly making the product, but we find that this product, we've actually never seen it go bad. We're continually running tests on it, and everything comes back with flying colors. That's inclusive of our base in the paste format, as well as powdered format pouches.
Nice. And so a bag like this, how much does it make? How many quarts or pints, gallons?
Yeah, so we actually have it right up here in the front. 8 quarts. You can make up to 8 quarts in this one bag. So, if you go to Costco, right now we launched our product in Costco if you're in the Pacific Northwest in either Oregon or Washington State. Other than the Kirkland Signature 6-quart case, you can get ours now as an option, and we're 8 quarts that you can make. As compared to Kirkland, they sell you this 6-pack of 6 quarts, and you can see. I mean, it's a great sort of communication of the efficiency and sustainability of our product, which is one bag versus one big box of a bunch of Tetra Packs.
So 8 quarts, that's a lot of packaging. And like people can make this a cup at a time. So that's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
So here's Beverly says, I love JOI and I use it exclusively. And Chris is asking what the fat content is. So the fat content, obviously on the ones that are nut-based are going to be different than the ones that are oat-based. Do you want to answer that or you want me to just read the label?
Sure. No, you're absolutely right. And every product's going to vary. The pastes have a little bit more fat content than the powder does. The powder has 2 grams of fat. And the paste have a little bit more, inclusive of protein and fat as well. So we're constantly, what we're trying to do at the end of the day is preserve the integrity of the raw material we're using and find, identify, and bring to light new raw materials that we think are fantastic. And we're only just getting started. You know, again, we have almond, cashew, and oat. We have a creamer blend that incorporates some really fantastic raw materials such as pea protein. But you know, we envision a world where we continue to bring single ingredient products to consumers in new processes and new formats.
You know what else is nice is people can customize. So like if they want to use 1 tablespoon instead of 2, they can, or if they want to use more.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like written in stone. And so if somebody got the almond or the cashew and wanted it a bit lower in fat, they could use less or add more water. And the same thing with the oat, they can make it to their liking.
We're all about empowering the user to kind of control and define their own destiny. You know, I don't like to purchase something and not have control over it. So we really feel like we're putting the power in the consumer's hands so that they can do whatever sort of nutritional programming that they're doing in their lives at that time, and do it to the best of their ability. So we put the power in your hands.
When you said you don't like to purchase something and not have control, I was going to say, don't get a cat or a dog then, because they do whatever they want. So let's see, who's saying that they love your, I think, yeah, Kelly loves her oat milk powder. Susanna said, have you ever considered making a sampler pack of your different flavors so somebody could try all of them?
You're on to something, Susanna. It is something that we've absolutely is top of mind. We're incredibly excited about what we're going to be launching this year. And I think you're on the right track. Absolutely. We've heard this time and time again, and we think there's a huge opportunity there. So I would stay tuned, sign up to our newsletter. We're going to be offering something really interesting in the upcoming months that I think will definitely surprise some folks and get them excited.
Well, please come back on when you have it, because I know that my viewers would love to see it. So why don't we do a little demonstration, if you don't mind. I have just 2 glass jars, 8 ounces of cold water in each of them. So I'm going to take the oat milk powder that was previously produced by you guys. And I'm guessing you don't sell that anymore, right? Because
No,
yeah,
we've discontinued.
Nice. Okay. So, and this stuff tasted great. Like you said, you just had to blend it. So I'm just going to do 1 tablespoon because probably, you know, I'm just sitting here right now. I know it says two heaping tablespoons. So I'm going to put the previous product in here and you can see that it's kind of floating. And let me just stir it up and see if anything happens, because obviously I don't have a blender in here. And yeah, it doesn't really dissolve without a blender. I mean, it's getting a little bit dissolved, but not so much. It's really not, it's getting dissolved a little bit, much more than I would think, you know, not so bad actually. However,
that shows you how meticulous we are. It was good, but it wasn't great.
I know, because I'm really impressed because it really pretty much did dissolve, but let's try the new one. Here's some more water. I haven't even opened it yet because I wanted it to be honest on the air. Just take the scissors. It'll be a little easier to open. Such a pretty color too. It's like purple. I love purple.
Yeah, we wanted it to pop on the shelf. You know, this is a new way to experience plant milk. It's a new way to experience milk in general. So, you know, being able to educate people and catch their eye is hugely important to us.
So I've got my second jar of water. I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of the new, getting it all over my computer. Okay, put it in. And look at that. It's almost like Alka-Seltzer, like without even stirring, it already started to dissolve. So let me just take a spoon and stir it. You can see it just was a couple of stirs, so you can see the difference. Let me taste it. Nice and cold. Stir it a couple more times. I don't want to drink out of a jar. That's kind of weird. So put it in a glass. Okay, and this is with 1 tablespoon. It tastes good to me. I would drink this. I mean, I am drinking it, but I mean, I would drink it. I don't really drink milk though. I use it with something, but it's very delicious.
And our typical suggested ratio is 2 tablespoons for a cup of water. That
It
gives
tastes
you
pretty
kind of-
good with one though, honestly. I mean, for me, I'm liking it with one. But
There you go.
the other thing I was thinking is, I don't know what I was thinking. It tastes good to me, but yeah, I could try it with 2 if you like. I'll put 2 in and I'll see if it makes a big difference. Okay. I'll put the second one in.
And it all goes back to the consumer, right? How they want to.
I'll try it
engage
with
the
2 and
product.
see if I like it a lot better. Oh, what I was saying is, like some cinnamon, some date syrup, or blending it with dates. I bet it would be vanilla, a little
We're
vanilla.
gonna make a fantastic frappuccino with some of those ingredients right now, so you can see it come to life.
I mean, it definitely tastes richer with 2, definitely. And let me taste the old one, but the old one isn't really. It didn't really dissolve, and it's not so this is incredible. It really, you did what the product said, and what could be better than that. But I want to try one more thing, because what I'm thinking of using it for is I do have tea every day. It's a hot tea. I've got, you can't really see it, but this is hot tea, and it's kind of vanilla-y. And I usually put a splash of plant milk in just because it just makes it better. So I'm going to see if this dissolves in hot as well. I'll start with 1, because you know what I say, you can always add, but you can't take away once you put it in.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, it really dissolved in hot in just seconds.
Yeah.
Now, see, for this, I think I would like 2 because it's my tea. Let's put it in. Yummy. Okay.
And how you're doing it right now is how I do it with my coffee in the morning, for example. I'll just make a cup of coffee, an espresso, large, and then I'll just add a couple tablespoons of JOI to it.
It tastes just like milk. I mean, like plant milk. So delicious. And it really does dissolve. Yeah, I think even faster in the hot than it did in the cold.
Yeah, exactly. You'll find that to be the case.
There you have it. So now you can come up with a whole line of flavored,
yeah.
hazelnut and vanilla and chocolate and all these, or whatever they have on there. Oh, Stephanie says, can this be put in the freezer to prolong shelf life? 9 months, not a long enough time for you, Steph.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep the bag sealed. And so long as the bag's sealed, you should be good to go no matter where you store it.
Nice. Well, you're going to show us some recipes to make with it.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Tony, if you mind grabbing your computer. We have, just as you suggested, a sweetened version of an almond milk, or I should say oat milk frappuccino. So we're just going to add to water the instant oat. And you're going to see, just as it did with you, it's going to dissolve straight into the water without having to agitate it. This time we're going to add a little bit of vanilla powder, about a teaspoon. And all of these recipes you can find on our website, www.adroy.com. I'm sure it's linked at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll put them in the show notes as well.
Fantastic. This one is our frappuccino mix. And in this case, I'm going to add a little bit of date syrup, just as you suggested. This is one of our favorite brands called Julie's.
Nice. Yeah, I tried to get them on the show. They just do not write me back.
Well, maybe we can help you out there. They're great people. So I added vanilla, Julie's date syrup, and this time I'm going to also add a cold brew. This is a Miami-based cold brew. It's called Perla. They use a fantastic technology to produce this product. It's all locally roasted. They'll be on our website soon, hopefully. So I'm just going to add this to the cup and add a little bit of ice. Super simple, nothing complicated. I'm sure I could add a little bit more, but I filled this up. So everything's under your control. You can always adjust as you go. And we're going to blend it. And that's it. Really straightforward. It looks just like a latte that you would get at Starbucks. The lighting's a little off, but you can see it right here. And all that has is our oat milk powder. Nothing more, nothing less, with water, coffee, vanilla, and dates. But in terms of the milk product, all you get is 100% organic oat that's been instantized and added to this product. Froth's really great. You have a great, fantastic product here that you can take on the road with you, drink as you need. It's caffeinated, so it's going to give you a buzz. It's 5 o'clock here in Miami, or 5:30. So if I drink this, my wife will hate me for it because I'll be up all night talking to her. So I'm going to avoid that and set it aside. But it's a fantastic alternative and recipe that's easy to make and can be accessed anywhere. In addition, we've also made a tomato bisque. This is a creamy tomato bisque. I've had it sitting here in the pot. It's been simmering on low for a couple of minutes, but this was used with our almond base. So instead of the oat product, we used our almond base to give it a nice, rich, fatty consistency. And we're just going to take this. It has tomato, garlic, crushed. It has onion, garlic, crushed tomato, water, and oat, and almond base. And we're just going to add this to our blender. Blend it up, and we're going to get a really creamy consistency out of this. And it's going to be a perfect little appetizer for tonight. Adding a little bit of basil. And all you need is about 30 seconds in the blender. Very straightforward. And we're going to get this rich, white kind of consistency with the tomato base. And all this has is our almond product. So you're substituting what would regularly be cream or cow's milk with our almond base, introduced directly into the saucepan, and then blended, and you're going to get a really creamy tomato bisque. This is also on our website. Super straightforward, healthy recipe. No added oils. We didn't cook this with olive oil or anything, just water. And it's absolutely fantastic.
Nice. And I put the recipe right below the video in the show notes. Here's a question from Beverly. So I have ordered the new oat milk, but also have a package that looks like the new one. How can I tell if the oat milk that dissolves without blending is the older version? Wouldn't the package be different for sure?
Yeah, the packaging is the new product. So if it comes in this pink pouch, you should have the new product. And that's the simple way to tell.
Nice. Let's see. Laura's saying, how is it for diabetes? Would be great for diabetes. Diabetes is from fat and animal products, not from plant milks.
Yeah, you could perhaps speak to that better than I can. We don't have any added sugars in these products whatsoever. So if you can tolerate almonds or don't have any allergies regarding nuts or seeds, this is a fantastic product for that. And again, the simplicity of our product line, JOI stands for just one ingredient, really allows people to navigate their eating habits without the complexity of going too deep into the nutritional label. We're putting it all out there. It's really straightforward. You're getting simplicity behind our products, and that allows you to really consume products that you feel confident around and have a brand that you can have confidence in.
So JL's saying, can you use one of those shaker things?
For the powder, absolutely. You can use a shaker bottle, like a protein shaker. It works fantastic. You don't even need the protein shaker ball in there. You could just do it with a couple of shakes. You could just do a cup of water and a spoon. You could swirl it around. It dissolves that easily. It's really hassle-free. We've spent over a year just refining, how to make it dissolvable, how to dial in on the convenience and form factor so that we're removing all of the hassles from the consumer experience.
Nice. And Steph is saying, is the packaging still compostable?
So we changed from compostable to PCR, post-consumer recycled product. We felt that it was a better addition to our product lineup in terms of the packaging. It's more durable. It protects the product a lot more efficiently. And in addition, we're removing waste from the trash system. A lot of folks are already throwing away aluminum, cardboard, and like materials. We're taking that out of landfills and then reintroducing that into packaging that has a second life.
And unfortunately, with the compostable packaging, we were having a lot of issues with the durability. So customers were getting their products at home and they were coming torn in the box. So we wanted to prevent that from happening. And so, we're always looking for the best possible packaging, and to our knowledge, and after all the research we've done, this is the best in terms of durability and preserving the product inside.
Great. Do you ship to anywhere other than the United States, such as Canada?
We do ship to Canada, and all of that is being able to be processed on our website. We're constantly examining new countries and territories to ship to. So yeah, right now, United States and Canada, that's inclusive of Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico.
Great. And Tracy wants to know, do you do a soy milk base or powder?
No, that's an interesting question. Soy milk is, it was the love child of the plant milk era a couple of years ago. I should say a decade ago or so. I love soy milk. I think it's a fantastic milk, and it might have its purpose in the future for us. Soy is a very popular milk product, and it's something we're constantly examining for JOI.
Yeah. Well, the thing about when you make your own oat milk, it sometimes can get a little bit gummy, and yours isn't gummy.
Correct. So it goes through an enzymatic process that kind of removes the starches that would otherwise build up when you're adding water to raw oats. So that starch buildup creates that gumminess. We're preventing that from happening. So that's why you get a kind of more creamy, rich, but not gummy experience. Gummy is not a word you want to use when experiencing, milk. You want it to be creamy, smooth, velvety. And those are the kinds of experiences we're after.
Have you ever heard of potato milk?
Yeah, we're aware of it. A European-based technology, I should say. At the end of the day, what we find to be really interesting is that there's new flavors coming out left and right, but in our minds, that's all it is flavors. So if you look at the ingredients, it's still 98% water, gums, binders, and additives that are either preservatives or otherwise. So what they're doing in many instances is just taking the featured ingredient and adding it to that formula that is the base of so many plant milks out there. So whether it be a mushroom orientation or a potato orientation, a lot of the time they're just taking the foundation of pre-existing plant milks, whether it's any name brand that's mass market available today, and they're just adding a new flavor to it. And it could be potato in this circumstance. We're kind of going back to basics, re-examining what plant milk is to begin with, and then identifying new technologies and processes to get people thinking about what they're consuming and why they're consuming it, and kind of re-engineering the wheel, if you will, when it comes to plant milks.
That's cool. I've had zucchini milk. I've made it. That tasted good.
Oh, wow. That's a new one. That's a first. That's a first for me, at least.
Yeah, actually it was pretty good. Let's see if there's any more questions. Do you have to put Chef AJ as the discount code, or yeah, they do in the box, right?
Yes, that would trigger the discount.
Yep. Yeah, you have to put it in, guys. That's why you're probably not seeing it. Oh, here's a question. What is the difference between the almond butter base and between almond butter and the almond butter base? There it is.
Yeah, great question. So it's a very nuanced distinction. One, in fact, we've refined over many, many years. And maybe Tony can highlight a little bit of the backstory of how it even came to be.
So basically what it boils down to is almond butter in the traditional sense goes through a double cooking process. So it's first roasted and then it is put through a traditional milling process. And by the sheer nature of the density of almonds, that they're so dense, any sort of crushing of the almond creates a lot of friction and then essentially cooks it again with all the friction that's created in that process. So essentially almond butter is a paste that's going through this double cooked process, which kind of gives it that flavor profile I think that we all love, that nuttiness and sort of roasted flavor that we enjoy. So what we do is almost the opposite of that. We process the raw material in a way where we preserve it to the point where it's almost mimicking our own mastication in our mouths, so that we don't generate a lot of heat and it doesn't cook and it doesn't start separating oils and it doesn't start kind of chemically altering the original state of the raw material. So we preserve all that. That's why the color of our almond base is actually it's almost white. If you go to Whole Foods or any of your retailers where you're buying almond butter, you'll see it's a very strong, dark brown flavor or color. And ours is white. And when you kind of introduce our paste into water, it's this bright white. That's the big distinction between almond butter and our almond paste.
Yeah, and Tony's being modest about how we got here. 4 or 5 years ago, he was burning out blenders to his wife's dismay, left and right, just trying to figure out how to make a better almond butter that would allow us to make a delicious plant milk. And if you've ever made plant milk from scratch, water blender is your best friend, but it's also your biggest enemy. So it could be a real challenge, and we wanted to improve that. And over 5 years now, we've just constantly refined that process and introduced really incredible technologies in manufacturing processes to allow us to really refine and identify the time and temperature controls to be able to produce a high quality plant-based like ours. That's why we don't call it a butter. It doesn't go through the same roasting processes. It's distinct unto its own.
Nice. What's the better seller, almond or cashew?
So we started with almond, and oat is becoming number one. Cashew is actually number 3 in our lineup.
Interesting.
Cashew is delicious and many people's personal favorite. It's slightly sweet compared to almond. It has a natural sweetness to it, which is really, really great. It also has a kind of a smooth consistency. It's fantastic for making ice cream. Cashew, the high fat and protein content. We actually have a lot of clients that use the product to make ice cream in mass, whether it be for your grocery store ice cream or an ice cream shop. So cashew has its distinct kind of a value offer relative to almond, but almond is more widely known and appreciated when it comes to milk.
That's funny because I'm not just your brand, but I've always preferred cashew milk to almond milk. Maybe it is because of the sweetness. So Keat says, what are the hidden ingredients that you don't have to disclose? Is this just powdered rolled oats in a Vitamix? I don't think so, but I'll let you guys know.
I think if we were hiding any ingredients, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. So as a vegan myself and somebody that sort of transformed their own lifestyle for health reasons, this is something that's dear and near to my heart, to make sure that we're as transparent and what we like to say radically transparent in not just where we're sourcing our raw materials from, but what we're giving the end consumer. So that's something that we're passionate about, and we put everything that we're putting in our products on the ingredient label.
And if he thinks it's just powdered Vitamix oats, I encourage you to do that right now and see what happens when you stir in water. Yeah,
you can buy anything on the market. We'll stand by this. Any single product on the market, oat flour, oat grain, it's not something that you're going to come across. We've taken a lot of time. Yeah, we've broken our backs really trying to figure this out because we love it and we think it's an amazing thing to be able to offer to our customers and to offer to the market. It's very different. A lot of people take a different path, adding a lot of ingredients and going to flavor scientists and formulators to be able to offer products. We're, again, starting from scratch and re-examining how to do this.
Yeah, the skeptics that think just putting oats in water in a Vitamix is going to taste like this, I encourage them to do a taste test because it doesn't. And I have made it myself many times.
That's absolutely right. And you're going to get that gumminess. Again, that gumminess is just a byproduct of using oats in that format.
That's great. Well, I wish you every success. I'm sure you're taking the world by storm with this. So it's possible that this could be a bigger seller than either of the nut milks.
Yeah, absolutely.
From your lips to God's ears.
All right. Well, we'll see. You think you'll get in more stores? Like you're only in Costco in the Pacific Northwest, right?
Yeah, we just launched this in December, and Costco was the first one to pick up on it. We're in 20 stores out in Costco, and God willing, we keep growing that footprint, but we're really excited about it. And it's going to sell itself one way or another. Whoever our partner is, we welcome them and just hope we create access for more folks.
Well, yeah, if you're in Costco, you made it, kid. No, because that people dream about being in Costco, and people are saying the code is working fine. It's Chef AJ for 50% off. Yeah, Susanna's saying she hopes it can come in Costco, Canada, but no shipping to Australia, right?
Not yet, not yet. We hope to go international very soon, beyond Canada, but not yet.
Well, that's okay. Well, thanks, guys. This is great, and you did everything it said. Look at the old one. I don't know if you can see, but there's like little pieces. I can still probably blend this and I'll use it. And the one that I stirred, it hasn't separated at all. Let's see. You're right. 2 spoons taste better than one. Well, thank you so much, guys. And please come back.
Thank you, Chef AJ.
Yeah, whenever you have a new product or if that sampler pack comes out, because I think people love your products.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
It's my pleasure. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow at 11 for the Lifestyle Docs, Drs. Chawla and Chawla.